record you a little vlog of my outing. I've got my bag, I've got some food, gonna make a fire. I brought a tarp just in case it's really coming down like it is right now. And I'm gonna record this trip for you, because obviously I can't bring you. And I'm not sure you'd wanna come even if you were. Got parked, drove up the winding road, very foggy, so we'll see if it's foggy up there. Love you, enjoy the trip. Alright, and we're ready to get hiking. All right, well, so far recording this has been going good. I'm up above the creek now. We got another little creek over here to my side, and then we're just coming up here, one of the more open sections. So I've been hiking for a little while now, so I'm gonna start looking for a more open spot where I can make a little camp. Maybe where there's some firewood, and where we have a nice view of the creek. So keep coming with me. So as you can see, we're up above now. There's a little trail though that goes up along there. It gets real pretty. You can see there's little falls there. Another one up there. But it just keeps getting more and more narrow. Kind of comes up through this ravine here. So you got to stick above it because there's a much larger waterfall up there that you don't want to get trapped in. So I wanted to stop and show you the trees here. As you can see, average sized tree, about as big around as I am. When you turn around, you start getting into these trees and this tree. Let's just go take a look at this one over here. So where the other one was about as big around as my waist was, let's see if I can show you how big this one is. This one goes up like that, very tall. This one makes an entire backdrop behind me. These are huge, huge, huge trees. And they're all over up in here. It's really cool to see. They've been around for many, many, many years. Anyway, keep following me. All right, we're nearing where the good camping spot is. A good fire spot. We just gotta come over here real fast and take a look at one of the little waterfalls, preferably without falling in. It's very slick over here. You can see it kind of starts up there. There's a few. Got a little fall there, and then a bigger one here. And it runs down the canyon there. That actually right there is a great spot to take a bath, as Carson and I have tested out. Anyway, we're just gonna head a little farther up there. Just sneak under here. Now we're in kind of this beautiful little cove. So this time actually, instead of heading up there, we're gonna sneak down here and go up on that. Go see what we can find up there. Kind of is a split. Part of the creek is over there, part of it's on the other side you can't really see. They come together right down there. I don't know if you can see that. Where's my finger? There, and can't really see it down there. They meet together right there. This is a huge western red cedar. Got burned a long time ago. Still a huge tree. Anyway, let's see if we can't get up over here. What is it looking like? Well, I think our best bet's over here. Let's see what we can do. So the waterfall's right there. Let's try not and end up down there. This would make a great slip and slide though. You could just start there and slide right down. All right, we're just headed up there. See if we can just make it right up here. Well, we made it up that. Kind of went from over there, across, and then up. Now we're just gonna find a good spot to hang out. Somewhere right there. Just wanted to show you how foggy it is up here. There's a huge tree that broke off. See how big it is? Kind of in a bowl here. Hillside goes up over there. We kind of have this ravine where the creek is. Hillside goes up over there. You can just see it's so foggy. Really neat. All right, well I made it up to the spot. You can see it's we got a lot of tree cover. So hopefully we don't get too wet because it's raining pretty hard. But kind of have this flat area here. Try and build a little fire. I do have a tarp I can set up to a little shelter if the rain starts getting too bad. But it's been raining up here for about 4 weeks now. So finding some dry firewood is gonna be pretty hard. So I'll see you back in a minute after I do some scouting. I set up a tarp. Tied around the tree up there. Over here. Up here, I'm just gonna do about a foot. And then we're gonna go another foot and a half. There's our two pieces that we're going to use to tie the top of the tarp on. Pull out some more rope, maybe 5 or 6 feet here. Let's see, how much do we have left? Comes all spooled up. There we go. Not that. The rain's really starting to pick up, so I need to get this set up so we're not all. All right, tarp shelter's all set up. Now I gotta get my chair out. So, fire was going to be really hard to come by. Where I've looked so far, there's not been a lot of options. So, get a dry spot to sit and put my stuff. Because it's really coming down. And my backpack's still sitting where it's wet. So I'm going to go grab that and start collecting some wood. Be back in a minute. All right, well the wood prospects aren't looking great. Where I've looked so far is just absolutely soaked, so I'm gonna have to figure something else out. There's a dead tree, so I might get my little handsaw and start cutting down on that. I'm gonna set you up here and we can take a look at everything I brought. All right, so I brought my knife, obviously, except I threw it in that log over there, so we can't look at it. Brought this tarp with a long stretch of rope. Let's see, gloves just in case it gets real cold. I brought some crackers, a block of cheese, and a bunch of cookies. That's the most important things, which is why it's in the top. Next up, we got the little inside pocket. Got a backup protein bar in case things take a little longer than expected. inhaler because I might need it. First time hiking. Speaking of which, first up, just a metal plate. Put stuff on I'm gonna eat. Pot to boil water. Cup for my tea, which I should have. I brought some buttermint tea, so I'll make a whole cup of that. And this pocket brought some paper matches, in case my flint still doesn't work. A liter of water. Probably take a sip of that, which I'll also use for my tea. Next, you got my raincoat, which I should have probably used on the way up because I wouldn't have been so wet, but I wasn't thinking that far ahead. So I'll throw that down now, and it makes a nice dry spot to set things. So, brought my Nano Puff because it stays dry even when it's soaking wet. So that's my. Well, while I'm sitting around here, I'll probably take this off and put it on. Then I've got my Smart Wool long sleeve shirt, which I always bring because this will really stay warm even when it's wet. And if I get stuck up here, have to sleep up here, it's gonna get pretty damp. And so that'll save your baking because these cotton t-shirts and cotton shirts just get super cold. Got my axe for splitting some firewood. Carson would be mad at me for bringing this. This is my Norway axe that I bought from Norway. Very expensive. Well, she says you should bring your cheap axe, but I don't agree. I hope. Oh, there we go. And I've got my folding saw. So, along with my axe, I'll go use these and cut some firewood. And then hopefully get a fire started. You'll be very mad at me. I was gonna bring my headlamp, and then I forgot it. And the sun sets in about 45 minutes, so it's gonna be a mighty dark hike down. Or let's see here. This is my emergency bag that I always take hiking. It's got my first aid kit, a little pocket pharmacy, and sometimes I also should have my survival kit in there. So it's in a waterproof bag, and then it's in this Sea to Summit drawstring pouch. First aid kit with all my things, an extra battery pack in case my phone dies. My general survival kit. Emergency blanket. In case I gotta sleep out here. Protein bar and hydration packet. Aha, and the two important things. A good headlamp, so we're good for the hike down. And then a survival knife. So this is a titanium knife. And then in the back here, I don't know if you can see it, that's a flint. Pulls out right there. Flint and steel so I can make a fire. So that's everything I carry in my bag. Let's get to work. I love you, Alinya Bryn. Well, so I've been out cutting wood. Got some nice little chunks. Found this absolutely soaking piece of cedar. I'm hoping all the sap inside is keeping it kind of dry. I'm just gonna start cutting here. Now we're gonna cut up into a little more firewood sized pieces. So we're gonna just baton it like this. Do it on the rock here, like so. Get a little piece of firewood. They're still pretty damp, so we'll see how this goes. Let's see if we can split this down even more. Get some real thin pieces. Pieces like this to be better for starting a fire. Oh, that's pretty wet there. Let's see. Take off all the soaking wet bark too on these pieces. See if I can't just... There we go. Split it right down the fork. So right now I'm working on a feather stick, so I'm just going to do this over and over so there's this nice area to get lots of flame on to start on fire. So we're just going to work on this. Okay, got a little bit started, but it's not looking too good. We got to see how dry this actually is. So I'm going to set you up here so you can watch it. Still have one more stick, and we'll just see how well this goes. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go work on some more wood. All right, well, seems to be burning a little bit. Kind of built it so it gives it some shelter from the rain there. Just gonna peel the bark off these pieces that were they were dead standing. So usually this layer's pretty wet, but then on the inside, it's fairly dry. Just gonna lay this piece here and start drying off. I'm gonna split this one. Well, let's hope it keeps going. I'm gonna try and keep cutting this piece up. All right, well, I'm taking a little break. Looks like the fire's getting going a little more. So I'm gonna sit here and enjoy the view for a minute. Getting a big puddle of water up there, so probably get that off in a minute. Other than that, I'm still pretty damp, so I have to change into my wool shirt. Let this burn and then I'll start my tea. But it's very pretty, getting real flame. So everything's going good. All right, so we're just putting some more fire over here. As you can see, the fire's roaring away. So now it's just a matter of keeping it fed. So just gonna lay some of the wood down here, just to kind of keep it drying. Might just put this whole chunk on there. Over here, there we go. I'll get it drying out too. The bark's all wet, so it doesn't really matter that that part's in the rain. But yeah, keep it fed and get our tea going here in a minute once we have some embers going. All right, fire's really going now. Kind of able to warm up a bit. Went and cut some more pieces. These ones are pretty wet, so just hoping they're gonna burn. Also got this long stick, which is also pretty wet. So just gonna break them off and kind of throw them on there. See if they'll dry pretty quick. Yeah. There we go. Yes. Just gonna get these drying. Try and put them right on top so that they kind of have an opportunity to dry out. Pretty nice sized stick, so it seems fairly dry, so we'll put it kind of right on there, let it dry off. This is the bark on the outside, and it's just, let's see if we can flip it open. It's pretty much wet all the way through, so not much use to it. Just kind of throw it back here and make a good backdrop to the fire. And we got a nice big piece there burning. I'll show you. Show you how it's going. So all that first stuff I put on there is down there. And let's see. I'm trying to make it so I can show you. It's all burning pretty hot. And we got that second layer I put on there, and then all the bigger stuff that's trying to dry out. You can kind of see just how much steam is coming off all of these. So I'll give it a few minutes and then I'll kind of move that all to the side and put my pot on there and start my water. One cool trick I wanted to show you was how I got the tarp to do this. So it's just a square tarp, right? I have it tied up in the corners, and then the back is tied to that tree and the back is tied back behind this tree. So this should just come like right up through across here. So right there, there we go. I actually took a, where is one? Right here. Took a pine cone, put it up through the bottom, grabbed the tarp around it, tied it down here. So now there's something to hold on to. And then looped my rope through that tie that I put on here and pulled it back and tie it to the top of a tree back there. All right, time to get some food ready. So I got my plate here. It's a little wet from the humidity and stuff. So let's wipe it down. So as you know, I have a Swiss girlfriend, so gotta have a little Swiss snack here. We got some Swiss cheese, some crackers, and some cookies. So gotta get this going here. Gotta get some nice big chunks here. Break them up into nice little chunks here. Eat with my crackers. There we go. Crackers and cheese, and some cookies for dessert with my tea. There we go. Just gonna put these all together. All right, got my little sandwiches here. Got my fire keeping me warm. Ready to have a little snack. All right, got some water getting ready to boil so I can have my tea. It's really raining pretty good now. The water's dripping off the edge. Well, it's starting to get dark. And I'm really starting to get pretty wet. It's kind of blowing in under on me, but waiting for my tea. Still, fire's really dying down, but I'm not gonna stoke it anymore because I'll probably get out of here fairly soon. All right, well here's my little shelter here. Thought I'd show you. It's raining pretty hard now. And getting dark. So once my tea's ready, I'll drink that and head back down. Got my little chair. It's right up against this tree, so I've got a nice block from the breeze. Well, I'm definitely getting pretty cold. I haven't changed yet. So I got my little tea pack here. It smells really good. Put this in. Hang it off the edge. Well, I should probably change my shirt. I'm thinking it's gonna get pretty chilly. Starting soon. It's about 41 degrees when I started, which is made worse by the fact that it's really humid and raining. So, might not put on my nano puff quite yet. Or maybe I will. Let's see. I'm sitting here. Might not be a bad idea. So I have some insulation. For the way down. This is a nice shirt, but it's cotton. So now it's all damp. It's not gonna be too warm. Oh no! No, not this. My tea's not quite boiling yet. Oh, and I lost my hat. It's gonna be real cold. Let's see. Brr. Gotta get this on. There we go. Much better. Hat back on. Coffee on. And then waterproof layer on over it. I set up the roof a little too flat, so it is keeping me dry, but from the solid rain, but where the water's kind of sitting, the water condenses and drips through, and so I'm keeping my raincoat on just to, well, it's 4:30. My tea's probably, yeah, my tea's looking pretty good. Gonna try and drink this, enjoy it, and then get out of here because the sun set half hour ago, and I gotta get home for dinner around 6. So here we go. Cheers. Gonna sip on this and stoke my fire a little bit. Well, got my tea. Fire's burning down. Now I'm just gonna enjoy the view while I sip on my tea. Alright, Alinya, well, that concludes camping up here. Maybe not camping. Whatever I was doing up here. Almost eating my cookies and sipping on my tea. And I'm gonna head on down. Alright, well, put my chair away now. Finished my tea. Still gotta take the tarp down though, which is gonna be kind of hard to do. But I'll get it done. These chairs are super handy. You can just fold them up. Like so. Folds up. Put it. Put the cherries. Roll it up. Roll. There it is. Putting it back in the bag. I'm sure you're texting me right now. So this is my sorry for not responding. It's this video of all the things I've gotten up to. There we go. Super duper handy REI chair. Now for the fun part. Taking this down, shaking it out, putting it away while being in the rain. Alright, well, this is probably going to be interesting, so let's see how this goes. get that in the fire. Getting through it. Go. There we go. Now we bundle that up. There we go. All right, well, I'm just trying to, as you can see, my hands are steaming. Just trying to dry them off a little bit and warm them up before I head down. It's about 36, so I'm surprised it's not snowing. As you can see, it's thoroughly soaked and it is pouring rain. So, off into this I go. Let me just make sure this gets spread out a little bit. There we go. Just leave that and it'll get put out by all this rain. Now we gotta pick our way down through this. Preferably without falling and breaking anything. Alright, we're working our way down. Alright. Just working our way down. Definitely getting harder to see. And it's getting real slippery, so don't want to end up down there. I'm gonna try and walk around down here. All right, made it down to the crossing here. Now just gotta cross and get up over there. All right, well, put on some gloves because it's cold and almost snowing, and I'm soaking, which isn't a good combination. Kind of slippery coming down this. Gonna try and get up on that ridge and go down. Now to get up and over this. Gotta hop up here and get over there. Onto this log, walk along here, and then we jump down here. Head over here. We gotta stop and appreciate the waterfall. And then there's another one down there. All right, I'll get back to you when I'm closer to the car. Just going straight down there. All right, still coming down. I've changed to my red light so that I don't wreck my night vision, and I can see a little better. It's not completely dark yet. So, just gonna work our way down like this and try and get my night vision on. Honestly, I could see better just looking through the camera. All right, well, we gotta get down there. And I think I showed you on the way up, but there's a real cool method, and I think it's what keeps a lot of people from going any higher. Because there's never really signs, and Carson and I have never seen anyone up here. So, we just gotta slide down this steep part. You can see there's 5, 6 big trees right here. And you go down this, and there's a creek on both sides. And you walk around this tree, trail's right down here. The trick is, without falling, walk down here, hug the tree, and get down here. Bam. Just like that, you're down. But if you walk up here, you got a creek, real steep, thick stuff, real steep, thick stuff. Row lines up across there, so it looks like you're at the end of the line. People walk down there and then they turn around and go back. Or you can just walk right up and through that gap. Leroy's trick of the day. Well, the car is just down in that clearing there. This last part, you just have to hike through the creek. Unless you want to be way up there. So this is a lot more direct. You just have to have good boots. So you can walk in the water here. That's a lot of water. All right, we made it. Made it out. Well, that concludes our trip. Thanks for coming along, Alinya. And I'll call you when I get home.